Tonight's matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Minnesota Timberwolves was a reminder of just how quickly momentum can shift in the NBA and how a contest that feels tight and competitive for 3 quarters can still slip away when one team seizes control and refuses to relent. The Cavaliers entered the Target Center ready to battle on the road against a Wolves team that has been quietly building momentum over the early part of January, and from the opening tip it was clear that both squads were going to bring intensity and physicality. The first quarter was tightly contested, with Cleveland managing to stay within striking distance and even find ways to score effectively against Minnesota's length and athleticism. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Sam Merrill, and Jarrett Allen all made contributions early, and the Cavaliers' bench provided valuable support as Cleveland built a respectable offensive rhythm that kept the game respectable through the early stages. The Wolves, meanwhile, leaned on their star power and depth. Players like Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Donte DiVincenzo, and Rudy Gobert offering balanced scoring and defensive effort that helped keep Minnesota's head above water whenever Cleveland threatened to pull ahead. As the second quarter unfolded, the pace intensified and the two teams traded buckets in a back-and-forth rhythm that made it feel like the game could swing either way. Cleveland's offense was clicking at times, built around quick ball movement, sharp cutting, and timely three-point shooting, while Minnesota responded by feeding its bigs inside and finding open shooters on the perimeter. At halftime, the Cavaliers held a narrow lead, a testament to their resilience and to the fact that, despite traveling on the second game of a short road trip and dealing with lineup questions, they were still capable of matching Minnesota's intensity. Donovan Mitchell was particularly assertive, looking to create off the dribble and attacking closeouts with confidence, while Sam Merrill hit timely triples that kept the Wolves honest and Jarrett Allen protected the rim effectively at the other end. It was a competitive first half with the feel of a game that could very well go down to the final possession. However, the complexion of the game shifted dramatically after halftime. In the third quarter, Minnesota came out with renewed vigor and quickly turned what had been a close contest into a decisive advantage. Led by Julius Randle, who paced his team with a dominant scoring effort, the Timberwolves opened up a substantial lead with a blistering offensive surge. The Wolves outscored the Cavs by a wide margin in the quarter, turning halftime parity into a double-digit advantage that Cleveland struggled to overcome. Randle's combination of physicality, athleticism, and scoring versatility put constant pressure on the Cavaliers' defense, forcing them into difficult rotations and contested shots. At the same time, Anthony Edwards provided electric scoring bursts that energized the home crowd and kept Minnesota's offense flowing, while Jaden McDaniels, Donte DiVincenzo, and Rudy Gobert all made key contributions that showed how multifaceted Minnesota's attack had become. As the Timberwolves built their lead, the Cavaliers found themselves in a position that required both grit and creativity if they were to claw their way back into it. Cleveland tried adjustments on both ends of the floor, switching defenses, mixing up offensive sets, and seeking to use transition opportunities to cut into the deficit. For moments in the early fourth quarter, the Cavs showed flashes of their competitive spirit. Sam Merrill continued to shoot with confidence, hitting big threes that cut the lead and forced Minnesota to stay honest on the perimeter. Donovan Mitchell continued to attack and create, looking for his shot and for opportunities to set up teammates. Jarrett Allen battled inside for every rebound and every tip-in. And Evan Mobley, in addition to his scoring, worked hard on defense to contest shots and protect the paint. Despite these efforts and despite trimming what had been a double-digit Wolves lead down to a much tighter margin, time eventually ran out on Cleveland's comeback hopes. Minnesota's lead, built mostly in that decisive third quarter, proved too large to overcome, and the Cavaliers simply couldn't make enough stops in the waning minutes to regain control. The Timberwolves' balanced attack, a blend of interior scoring, perimeter shooting, and unselfish ball movement, kept the Cavaliers at bay long enough for Minnesota to hold on for a 131-122 victory. While Cleveland's effort in the final period demonstrated their competitive flow and their refusal to fold under pressure, the deficit they faced was simply too deep, and the Wolves managed the closing stages well enough to secure the W. For the Timberwolves, this win continued what has become a notable stretch of strong play. It marked their 4th consecutive victory, a sign that Minnesota's cohesion and execution have been trending in the right direction as the calendar turns deeper into the NBA season. Julius Randle was the statistical leader for his team, finishing with a game-high scoring output along with rebounding and playmaking that showed just how integral he has become to Minnesota's identity. Anthony Edwards added another strong all-around effort, combining scoring with assists and rebounds while also hitting emotional milestones that highlighted his evolving legacy. He became one of the youngest players in league history to reach a career scoring total that places him among elite company, reflecting both his talent and his consistency at a young age. But beyond stars like Randle and Edwards, Minnesota's win was a testament to balanced scoring from players like McDaniels and DiVincenzo, plus the physical rebounding presence of Gobert inside, demonstrating that this Wolves group can survive off nights from any one individual because of its depth and versatility. On the Cavaliers side, this loss was a mixture of encouraging performances and lingering concerns. Donovan Mitchell led Cleveland with a strong scoring night that reminded everyone of his ability to take over games and make tough plays consistently. Sam Merrill's shooting provided a significant spark, particularly in the fourth quarter when Cleveland looked most dangerous. Evan Mobley, too, remained efficient and impactful, scoring efficiently while showing flashes of defensive activity that can swing momentum on either end of the floor. Yet despite these bright spots, there were areas that ultimately made the difference, especially the third quarter where defensive lapses allowed Minnesota to run away with the game. Cleveland's rotation choices, lineup combinations, and defensive execution under pressure were all tested in ways that produced mixed results. Coach Kenny Atkinson's decision-making, particularly regarding the starting lineup and how it matched up against Minnesota's size and athleticism, became a talking point, with some analysts suggesting that certain adjustments might have helped prevent the early momentum swing that put Cleveland in a deep hole. Even so, the Cavs showed fight and resolve throughout the contest, refusing to bow out even when the odds were stacked against them. Their late-game rally that nearly cut the Wolves' lead down displayed toughness and character, hallmarks of a team that believes it can contend even in adversity. For fans, there were plenty the